I don't want to get married in a church. Are you going to get married in a church?
I go back and forth on it. I feel like personally, I don't really want it, but I think that, like, not that me and Dan are engaged or anything, but if I do marry Dan, I feel like his family would like it, and our family obviously would like it. But ultimately, I also think they wouldn't really care if I just did my own thing. I think they'd just respect that and be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think so too.
Priest to her wedding was like a real dick. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So, like, that can happen. And then you have this person as part of your, like, ceremony
day
forever.
Yeah.
Like, you can't change that. It's like, okay.
Anyway. Warning. Me Time and Murder is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Oh, for God's sake, here
Dancing
it goes.
around him, reciting poetry. Yes.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
No. Why? Oh, well, big surprise.
Oh, God. Dead on the bathroom floor.
Did it? Okay. Oh.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking the Pucka. I am drinking the Pucka 3 ginger tea because you can't get enough ginger. I think it has turmeric in it as well.
Kills the worms.
Does
Mummy always said about ginger. Yeah.
It does have turmeric as well. Yeah, because it is quite strong. What about you? What are you drinking, Mariam?
I am drinking a ice lemon tea that I got with my noodles.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Both things. I want ice lemon tea and noodles.
I love the noodles over here. They're like rice noodles, so they don't make me bloated.
They're the
best. I love rice noodles. Yeah,
they are. They're a lot lighter.
They're much lighter. They don't make me bloated. And I had rice noodles, shiitake, mushrooms, and tofu.
Oh yeah,
so good. Yeah, and bean sprouts. Oh,
love it.
It's like a soup, noodle soup.
Kind of like ramen, then, is it? Technically.
Yeah, kind of. It's like
a ramen bowl.
Mishan.
I'm so jealous.
Ha ha.
I know.
Oh, what about your me time?
I am just going to put on a little bit of eye cream because I've already done a little bit to my face. So last step now is just the eye cream. It's the caffeine eye cream from the Inky List. I think I might have talked about it in a previous episode, and I just wanted to do a little update on it because, guys, it seriously works. So
does it?
I feel like I've seen a difference when I don't use it. So now I know it's working.
Your eyes are in caffeine withdrawal.
Pretty much. My eyes need caffeine now every morning. Every single morning I have to put it on. If I don't, I will notice the difference. It's crazy. And now I'm like hooked in now.
Oh, you're addicted to caffeine.
I am. Yeah. It's crazy.
I sent Toya the caffeine eye cream for her birthday.
Oh, did you? Yeah, no, it's really good. I do really like it. I really like the applicator as well.
What?
It's like a very narrow, fine little tip.
I like that too.
So that you don't get too much out.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, loving it. What about you? What are you doing for your me time?
I am filing my nails between paragraphs, I suppose. Can you hear?
You have always been so good at keeping your nails
nail care.
Good nick, whereas mine are atrocious.
It's a good... I don't know. I always have a nail file.
You do.
But then, like, I remember at a job one time, I was, like, filing my nails. I was, like, thinking and reading and filing my nails. And then, like, somebody said to me, it looks like you're killing time. And I was like, what? It's like, you look so unprofessional filing your nails.
Was it a customer?
No, it was in an office. And it's like, bitch, what? Like, what are you talking about? It's like, I need to file my cuticles. Maybe it does look unprofessional. Whatever.
Yeah, but that's why your nails look good. So there you go.
Sit and swivel. Okay, so
you did not just say that.
Do you remember people used to say that?
I do, and I hated it then, and I hate it now.
You have to stick up your finger, because I was sticking up my finger, like, look at how nice my fingernail is. Sit and swivel.
Yeah.
But
Did
this
you
is a
do that? You did
podcast.
not do that in an office. Murray and McGinnis should not be in
No,
an
I
office
didn't
setting
do
people.
that in the office. No, I'm saying it to her in the past.
Yes.
Posthumously. I don't know how to. I'm sending
She's
bad
not dead.
vibes.
I hope.
Who
We're just
knows?
insulting this dead woman.
Maybe she died from split cuticles.
Got an infection. Oh,
Okay.
Jinx.
So today, did you say jinx?
Yeah. We're
Did
going
we
old
jinx?
school today, all the old phrases.
Was okay.
Clearly losing it at this point.
I have to go to bed. Anyway. Okay, so I've decided to do Harold Shipman.
Oh, why do I know that name? I'm so bad with
do.
names. I know that name and I know it's a biggie. Oh,
Who do you think it is?
Oh, it's someone really big.
Yeah.
I know it is.
He big.
I know. Why am I blanking? I don't know him.
Doctor?
He's a doctor.
Yeah.
It's not Dr. Death.
Yeah.
It is Dr. Death.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the reason why I wanted to cover this case is because I didn't know very much about it. Do you know much about it?
No, I just know that he was a serial killer. When you said his name, I knew he was a serial killer. Like, I knew he was a biggie. I don't think I know a lot about him. I just looked up a picture. And he has quite a kind face.
He doesn't look like a serial killer.
No, he kind of has like a cute little beard, like the little white beard. He kind of looks like your dad. Like, he just looks like very bizarre.
Looks like a fuddy-duddy guy.
Like a professor.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm so intrigued. So ready for this.
Yeah. So I wanted to do it because I didn't really know anything about it or him. And last podcast on the left, they always say that they're not going to do it because it's boring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm I'm going to make it fun. Well, I'll try.
It be boring. Okay.
Well, it's true. He didn't give a confession. So it's like when killers don't give a confession, it's hard to like get the nitty gritty, get the deets, get the juice, you know?
Gotcha. He's not like saying that he's innocent or anything, though.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
All right. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Here we go. Harold Frederick Shipman Jr. was born to working class parents on the 14th of January 1946, Nottingham, England. He was the second of three children of devout Methodists Vera and Harold Shipman Sr., a truck driver. Harold was particularly close to his mother. When Harold was 17, Vera died of lung cancer.
Oh, no.
And she was only aged 44.
Oh,
very young.
God, no.
Yeah. He's only 17.
Rough.
In the later, more final stages of Vera's death, because she was in so much pain, she had morphine administered to her at home by a doctor.
Okay.
The teenage Harold witnessed his mother's pain going up and down. The powerful morphine subsiding her pain, despite her terminal condition. She dies, however, in a similar way, what later became creepily similar to Shipman's own MO.
Yeah, and you thought you were going to say that.
Harold studied medicine at Leeds University of Medicine, and in 1974, when he was 28 years old, he took his first position as a general practitioner, GP, in Todmorden.
Never heard of it.
Nah, somewhere in England.
Okay.
Only a year into his first job, Harold was caught forging prescriptions for himself.
A year in?
A year in.
Dude.
A year in.
Do we know what kind of prescriptions?
Synthetic opioid painkillers.
Uh-oh.
The hard stuff.
Oh,
the
boy.
Hard stuff.
Okay, Harold. Naughty.
What do you think happened?
Well, he was taking them himself, obviously.
Well, after he was found out.
I don't know what the procedures are for that. Do they give a few warnings, or I don't know, is that really like egregious or whatever? I don't know, is it fireable? I don't know.
So he was fined £600.
Oh, you get a fine.
And,
that's weird. Okay.
And had to attend drug rehab.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get to go back to your job.
Yeah, I suppose it was only his first offence, so they didn't strike him off.
Yeah.
It seems,
well, like, see,
it's a pretty bad.
They need the doctors. They can't be, you know.
You'd want to have somebody checking in on him now every now and again, do a piss test.
I would, yeah. It's not a good start.
After this, he had to go get a different GP position in Hyde, which is a town outside Manchester. Mm-hmm. This is where he and his wife and 4 children would live. For decades, Harold worked as a GP and was a respected member of the Hyde community, and eventually even established his own surgery in 1993. So he was doing well.
Great.
In March 1998, Dr. Linda Reynolds had noticed a much higher than average death rate among Harold's patients, as well as a higher than average number of cremation forms for elderly women.
Is she? Sorry, what's her position?
I think she's just another doctor.
Okay.
So he asked her to co-sign for the cremations, and she was like, this is a lot of cremations.
Yeah, you would pick up on it after a while. Yeah.
And it's always for women. And I always see you. Yeah. And so she was like, this is a bit weird. And so she went and she told the district coroner.
I didn't think that doctors got involved with like signing off on cremations or something. I thought it was like whoever, I know not everyone gets an autopsy, but I would have thought it was somebody else. I don't know why.
I don't know. For some reason it needs to be co-signed. Like a doctor has to be like,
we are clear why this person died, therefore we can burn them, because we don't ever have to resume them and test their body again.
Did you say resume them?
Yeah, like, because...
Exhume.
Did I say resume? Resurrect.
Resurrect them?
Yes, you're right. Exhume them. Because that's the thing with cremation, is so final. There's no putting the pieces together again, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so he's right, but what I'm trying to say is he like convincing these people's like loved ones, like nearest kin, to like is he convincing them to do cremations? Because I feel like not a lot of people want them.
I feel like in Ireland they're definitely not that popular.
Yeah.
I don't know how popular they are in England.
But if she was noticing like why is there so many, he's the link, so it's him, so he's probably convincing people to like, imagine some doctor was like to you, yeah, I think you should get him cremated. You'd be like, what's this got to do with you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, something funny.
So the next month an investigation was made, but quickly closed due to insufficient evidence. Later, in years to come, like later, like after all of this, the Manchester police came under fire because they assigned inexperienced officers to like this really complex case.
Oh no.
But we know how the story ends, like he doesn't get away with it. About 2 months after the investigation is closed, Harold's last victim, Kathleen Grundy, was found dead in her home on the 24th of June 1999. And Harold was the last person to see her alive. He signed her death certificate, citing the cause of death as old age.
What age was she?
Oh.
Sorry. She must have been old, though.
She was like kind of old, yeah. She was old, elderly.
You can just take out my question.
That's okay. I will.
What age was she? Silence.
Silence. I don't know. Although this time it didn't go so smooth. Kathleen's daughter, Angela, was a lawyer.
Go on, Angela.
Go on, Angela. Angela was concerned when her mother's lawyer reached out to her and told her Angela, your mother left a will, but you might want to check its authenticity. Apparently, Kathleen decided that she didn't want to leave Angela, her daughter, and grandchildren anything.
What?
They were totally excluded. But Dr. Shipman, now
Stop.
he is set to inherit $386,000.
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
How did this guy think he was going to get away with this? No one loves their doctor that much. What on earth? Unless they're having a bloody affair.
Ugh.
Yeah, but
Then
like he can't be having
yeah.
an affair with all the old biddies, so something's got to give. So what? He's got some balls to do that.
Doesn't he, right?
I mean, do you know what he should have done? Is set up like an alias and get her to hand over the money to some, set up this fake person. I know that's a lot of work, but if for 386 you would do it for, wouldn't you?
Well, today that money is worth £598,000.
Yeah, I mean you would because putting your own name on it, it's just going to be traced to you, so it's just stupid.
It's true. Yeah, it's so true. So Angela went to the police and she told the police there's something wrong with this will. My mother would never write me and my children out of it. Who is this doctor?
Mm-hmm.
So police began a second investigation. Poor Kathleen's body was exhumed and re-examined, so she wasn't cremated.
Okay.
And what they found was that Kathleen had traces of diamorphine, a very strong opioid often used for pain control in terminal cancer patients.
Wow.
Just like his mom.
Yeah.
Harold claimed that he was only administering Kathleen opioids because she was out and out addicted to painkillers.
Well, if she's addicted, should you not be helping her?
Yeah, right. He told them that they could even read his medical notes. So they did. The police took Harold's computer and upon examination, it showed that the notes were entered after Kathleen's death.
For a doctor, this guy is not very smart.
I know.
God.
Yeah, I also laughed at that whenever I was like, oh my God, you don't know anything about like coding or
it's not even that. It's basically like a diary, like an entry or like an email. There is a timestamp. I mean, kids know that.
All of these things. Yeah.
Like children know
this,
that.
yeah.
Like, I mean, come on, dude.
Well, maybe in the 90s it wasn't that common.
Yeah, maybe the computers were so basic and maybe he couldn't see a date, but you're right, behind every line there is, metadata that's set.
We know that today,
yeah, but maybe he didn't know.
Idiot.
Yeah. Wow.
In August of the same year, 1998, while all of this is going on, a taxi driver also suspected Harold of murdering 21 of the taxi driver's clients.
Okay. All right, Mr. Taxi Man.
Yeah, I know, right? He was so convinced of his suspicion that he also told police that he was suspicious of Dr. Shipman. And he had no idea of the previous investigation or the current developing situation with Kathleen.
What got him suspicious? So is he's taking these people to the hospital in his taxi?
Yes.
And he's maybe noticing that they're okay, but then they get worse and then they die? But then isn't that just normal for sick people to get worse and die? Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's what he said. He went to the doctors and he was just like, look, I bring these OAPs to Dr. Shipman and then like they die like a few days later and they're not, he's like, there's no way they were all on death's door.
Right.
Like
okay, it's just too frequent,
people.
The deaths. Yeah, they can't all die.
And it's all Dr. Shipman.
Right, okay. Yeah, because
he's
probably taken other people to other doctors and
other doctors.
Gotcha. Okay, so he's comparing. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, good for him. Like,
yes.
keeping his eyes peeled and
right.
I feel like taxi drivers come up a lot in cases. They they are the eyes and ears on the ground, and Oh my god, jinx.
Jinx.
The theme of this episode is jinx. Yeah, we need to have a word for every episode. Okay, so I love this man already. Okay.
Well, that's it. We're done with the taxi driver.
Oh, okay. Well, it was great while it lasted. I enjoyed that portion.
Oh, a few months later, Harold was arrested on the 7th of September 1998. And after a search of his home, they found a Brother typewriter, the exact same kind that was used to forge Kathleen's will. They found the typewriter in his house.
Do people still have typewriters in the 90s? I feel like this guy was a little bit old school.
Sure, he didn't know. Sure, he gave the police his computer.
I know.
Said, search it.
Yeah, this guy's a little bit okay.
But maybe the will was written on a typewriter.
See, and then maybe why do you have a typewriter in your house? You purchased it to match it to the
Yeah. Also, while searching Harold's home, police had seized over £10,000 worth of jewellery they found in his garage.
Like ladies' jewellery?
Yes.
Like old biddy jewellery?
Yes. In a garage.
Awful.
Who keeps jewellery in a garage?
A man. This guy, oh, what a piece of work. Preying on the elderly. Really? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
The police investigated the other deaths Harold had certified and deeply investigated 15 cases, some of them the ones the taxi driver had referenced. Police quickly discovered the pattern. Harold was administering lethal doses of diamorphine, signing patients' death certificates, sending them off to be cremated, and then going back to falsify medical records as a way to indicate that the patients had been in poor health. Which to me it seems kind of impulsive. It's like,
not very well planned.
It's not well planned because you could write notes that the patient is going downhill, they're getting sicker.
Do it over
sicker,
time, yeah.
Over time, and then kill them.
It's an idea.
This is all impulse. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the 5th of October 1999, Harold was charged with the murders of 15 women by lethal injections of diamorphine between the years of 1995 and 1998.
Wow.
Harold refused to make public statements to the media about his actions. Throughout the trial, Harold consistently denied his guilt and disputed the scientific evidence put against him. However, on the 31st of January 2000, after 6 days of deliberation, the jury found Shipman guilty of 15 counts of murder and 1 count of forgery. Harold was sent to life imprisonment for all 15 counts of murder with a recommendation that he never be released.
Good.
Making him the only doctor in the history of British medicine found guilty of murdering his patients.
Whoa! Interesting.
10 days later, Harold was struck off the General Medical Council, GMC. While authorities said they could have brought many additional charges, they concluded that a fair hearing was going to be impossible in light of the enormous publicity surrounding the case. Like, they couldn't get a fair trial.
Oh my god. What about his wife? She just popped into my head. And children, 4 children and a wife. Yeah, so this has all been going on. Yeah. I feel like God love them. The wives never really suspect a thing. Especially because he's going off to work and doing this. And she must have been one of those women that never went into the garage. I know I wouldn't. So she didn't see all the jewellery. So, God. Did she ever come out and speak to the press? Or very embarrassing?
Harold's wife. Isn't it? Harold's wife stayed by her husband and defended his innocence during the trial. Yes. Defended.
What? Wait, maybe she was loving that jewellery. I've totally done a 180 here. Oh my god. What? No. Stood by him. You see, but it's the embarrassment of it. It's like you you want that to be true, so she's just gonna like dig her heels in, and maybe that'll work. But everyone knows.
I don't know. It seems.
You think it makes? I think it makes her look worse. Do you think so?
I think he probably convinced her that those ladies gave him their jewellery.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Is she wise? I mean,
I don't think so. No. Even
So,
after his conviction, she fought for his innocence, saying he was innocent.
God. So what about the kids? Do we have any info on them or?
No info on the kids.
Okay, okay. God, you not want that to be your dad.
Oh, so embarrassing.
Oh, God.
In January 2001, an investigation inquiry team was set to investigate and inquire into the into 22 specific deaths.
I thought
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Sorry, he was only charged for 15, but yeah, there was more.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was more. So they just exhumed a whole bunch of bodies that they could, because I think not all of them were cremated.
Yeah.
So they were able to exhume the ones that were not cremated, test them, see they all had morphine in them. So they're all so they can conclude that he's killing everyone the same way.
Okay. Which is also kind of stupid on his part, isn't it? Sure, there's other ways to kill people than morphine overdose.
I think it's like not the killing, it's like the act.
He likes administering the morphine.
He likes to see them fade, like their pain go, or he likes to see them fade away.
Oh,
like his mom.
Bloody weird. I've had morphine.
And you have? When did you have morphine?
When I was in the hospital with my leg, I had morphine administered, and it's unbelievable. It literally, when people say it just melts away, it literally melts away.
What was it like?
So it's quite fast. I remember it being quite fast acting. And I remember I couldn't fully extend my leg. If you lie down on the bed and your legs out flat. I could not do that. I constantly had to have my leg bent. As soon as they administered the morphine, I was able to stretch my leg, twist it, pull it. It was just the best. And you feel like you just feel good. Like you feel, your body feels really good. There's no, do you know you always have like a little niggle somewhere on your body, like maybe you slept funny or, like you just feel so loose and like, I was a big fan. I was so happy when they gave it, and then what happens is then you're thinking, oh my God, when is this going to wear off? And you start thinking, well, when am I going to get my next one? And you start like, that's as close as I've been to like, that's what happens with prescription medication.
It is, yeah.
It's bloody scary, but anyway. So he's into the whole process of it.
In July 2002, the Shipman inquiry, which is still online, I found it. It is long, but it's online, and you can read all of the investigations of like every single case and interviews with people.
Okay.
It concluded that Harold Shipman had in total 459 people died while under his care between 1971 and 1999, and he killed at least 218 of his patients between 1975 and 1998.
That's an astonishing figure. Oh my
218 people.
You couldn't even remember all those people. Like what an arse. Wow. And was it mainly women? Like
yes. Most of his victims were elderly women in good health.
Oh no. Weird that he chose elderly women when his mother was only 44.
Yes. I think it was because he could get away with it.
Yeah, no one's looking out for them as much. Yeah, it's awful. Okay. Awful.
All who were murdered via an overdose of opioids in a similar way to Kathleen. The judge who submitted the Shipman inquiry report also admitted that there were more suspicious deaths, but can't be definitely ascribed to Dr. Shipman, including the suspicious death of a 4-year-old girl.
What?
During the early stage of his medical career. Susie Garfit was a quadriplegic suffering from cerebral palsy and was in hospital ill with pneumonia.
And she's 4 years old.
4 years old, poor baby.
Oh my God, that is the saddest thing. Oh my God.
Mrs. Garfit, her mother, met Dr. Shipman in November 1972. She testified to the Shipman inquiry, that Harold was suggesting to her that treating Susie with medication would only prolong her daughter's suffering. Of course, this distraught mother did not want her 4-year-old to suffer anymore and told the doctor to be kind to Susie.
No. No.
Susie's mom told the inquiry, I gave Susie a kiss, gave a little prayer, and went out to get a cup of tea.
No. Okay. Oh my God, could you imagine coming back and your child? Oh my God.
That's what happened.
Oh my God.
So she went to have a cup of tea. She came back like 10 minutes later. She returned to the hospital room. The door was closed. A nurse exited and told her that her 4-year-old was dead.
Dear God. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Was the child able to recover from this? Like,
he said not to give the kid medication to try and fight the pneumonia, just to give her painkillers.
I don't really get it.
Basically, she was misled.
Oh gosh, this is bizarre that all his patients are so old, and then this one child.
One, yeah.
Weird.
So at the inquiry, Mrs. Garfit said that she did not give permission to hasten her daughter's likely death. She just didn't want her to be in pain.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, she wanted him to give her
a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If she wanted to hasten her child's death, she would have been there. Mrs. Garfit added, I was very shocked. I did not expect this. The head of the Shipman inquiry concluded that there was quite serious suspicion that Susie was murdered by Harold Shipman.
Okay.
Now, obviously, not all of his victims were in good health. For the victims who were sick, an analysis showed Harold had signed an abnormally high number of death certificates between 6 p.m. and midnight in hospital. Much higher than other doctors had signed death certificates, which obviously can't be explained clinically or statistically.
Yeah.
It's like that one doctor has 2 or 3 times more people dying at 8 p.m. so he can make it home to watch Countdown. Fuck. So, what a dick. The Shipman inquiry concluded that they think he might have been hastening the deaths of patients who were very close to death and who might otherwise had died within a few hours.
What an impatient prick.
But it's like he doesn't even want them. It's like he sees the opportunity for him to get his fix. It's
probably a bit of that, yeah.
Shipman also made unusual entries in the patient medical records about the deaths, which were either very, very short or like grossly over elaborated. And sometimes there was even like crossing out, like he changed his mind about how they died.
Oh dear God.
Now, his actions even affected other doctors. The GMC charged 6 doctors with misconduct as they had co-signed the cremation forms for Shipman's victims.
Oh, God.
The GMC said that they should have noticed the pattern between Shipman's home visits and his patients' deaths, but all were found not guilty.
Right, but a taxi man could tell you.
Well, this is true, you're
and
right.
all these doctors are like signing away willy-nilly. No one's... Now, at the same time, I respect doctors very much. They do a hard job. A lot of them are overworked. Maybe they can't always be looking out for these things, but it does seem a bit mishandled. Like, they just, got to keep on your toes, people.
Great advice.
That's to everyone. Let's all be on the lookout.
While in prison, Harold became friends with serial killer and serial rapist Peter Moore.
Lovely.
Yay! During his time in prison, Harold refused to take part in prison courses, which would have encouraged acknowledgement of his crimes. So,
they do that in prison. You kind of work through it and you kind of forgive yourself almost as well.
Yeah, like
there's a lot
courses.
Healing goes on in prison, which I think is great. But if you're a big stubborn old prick like him.
So his refusal to like partake led to him temporarily losing privileges, including the opportunity to talk to his wife on the phone.
Good.
This meant that they had to send letters. And during this letter writing period, Harold received a letter from her saying, "You need to tell me everything, no matter what."
Oh.
Yeah, it was quite obvious that Harold's wife was finally starting to doubt her husband.
Oh, good.
4 years later, January 13th, 2004, the day before his 58th birthday, Harold was found dead. He had hanged himself using the window bars and bed sheets in his prison cell.
No.
Yeah. Quite rightly, some of the victims' families said they felt cheated. Suicide meant they would never have the satisfaction of his confession, nor answers to why he even committed his crimes.
Bizarre. Yeah, the fact that he just never talked. So, yeah.
Yeah. Shipman's motives for suicide was never established, though he reportedly told his probation officer that he was considering suicide to assure his wife's financial security after he was stripped of his NHS pension. So I don't understand. I think that if he killed himself, she would get his life insurance.
I was thinking life insurance. Maybe he had to kill himself within a certain amount of time before the NHS took it away, or I don't know.
I'm not too sure. Harold's wife was recommended to not bury her husband in case the grave was to be attacked. So he was cremated on the 19th of March 2005 outside normal hours. So to maintain secrecy, the funeral was attended by Harold's wife and their 4 children.
I kind of hate the fact that he was cremated.
Yeah, like his victims.
I kind of hate it because I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't, like, he loved cremation, you know? So I'm like, no, you shouldn't get it.
It's too good for you.
Yeah.
A year later, in 2005, it became public knowledge that Shipman may also have been stealing jewelry from his victims. So I included it because it happened in the linear. I included it because it happened.
You're broken.
But I don't know.
I included it because it happened.
Because it happened. I don't know how to say it. I just decided to slot it in there. But the public only knew about the £10,000 worth of jewelry in 2005.
Okay.
After he died. So in 2005, Mrs. Shipman asked for its return. In response, the police wrote to the families of Shipman's victims asking them to identify the jewelry. While some of the unidentified items were handed to the Assets Recovery Agency in May, so to like pay for the overtime and stuff that went into this case. 66 pieces were released to Mrs. Shipman, and she decided to auction 33 pieces that she confirmed were not hers. The proceeds of the auction went to the Thames side of victim support. I think the fact that she auctioned pieces she confirmed were not hers is definitely her acknowledging that he did murder all those women.
Oh yeah, she's come around. Yeah,
she knows.
And so some pieces got returned to the families.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. In 2005, a memorial garden to Harold's victims called the Garden of Tranquility was opened in Hyde.
God, that's a sad garden.
Yeah.
Gosh. But nice to do that. But so sad that so many people share something like that. My God. From one person, one doctor.
I know.
Who's supposed to be helping, and all these people are connected through that. It's awful.
Isn't it?
God.
And then in 2009, there is still fallout. Families of over 200 of the victims of Harold are still seeking compensation for the loss of their relatives.
Oh God, yeah, it's still going on.
Yeah. As a way to raise money, authorities announced that letters Harold wrote while in prison could be sold for auction.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do they normally do things like that?
I don't know. I think they're like, it's a lot of people like looking for a lot of money.
I know it is. It seems unorthodox to sell bits of letter. I've never heard of that.
Well, actually, there was complaints from the other victims' relatives and the media also scrutinized it, so they withdrew the letters from the sale.
Yeah, is there something a bit fishy about that? It's unsettling. I don't know. It's like it's a bit unethical, because who are the people that are buying them getting off on it? Like, I got that from Harold. What a weirdo was buying that.
Yeah, they're like frame it and put it up in their living room for a talking piece.
It's a bit you're asking for trouble there, but because then you could get some bloody copycat. Maybe not a doctor copycat. This is hard to copy what he did, but you know what I mean. It's just not. Yeah. It's unsettling. Anyway, because I mean, who is it? It's the government that has to pay these families, right? Because it's the NHS, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Can they not find a bit of money for them? My God, come on.
And that's it. So that's the end of the story. Some people speculate that Harold subconsciously forged the will, because the will was what got him caught. He could have got away with it, but some people think that he forged the will because he wanted to get caught, and that everything was like catching up with him and he felt like he was out of control. While others think that he forged the will because he was planning to retire early, that he wanted to retire early at 55 and leave the UK. So he was stealing jewelry for money, and then he seen this opportunity to like take this Kathleen's money.
Yeah.
Nobody knows why he forged the will. It was his downfall.
It did seem extremely stupid, but then did he just get cocky after killing 200 and so people into stealing their jewelry? Did he just get cocky and thought he could do it? I think he did it to try and get away with it. But see, the stealing of the jewelry, do you think he kind of like took it off them when they were in the hospital and stuff like that?
Oh God, it's just like so invasive.
Isn't that horrible? Because it's not like he was going in, or was he going into their homes? Did he do home visits?
I think he did. He did do home visits,
and he would have took it out of off their counters in their bedroom. That's awful. Jewelry is such a personal thing for people, you know.
Unless you think it was also like his, what do they call, like trophies? Do you think he was keeping trophies?
Possibly, because that's what I thought. Whenever you said like a load of jewelry found in the garage, I was like, well, why didn't he sell it and like, you know, why hang on to the physical pieces? Like get money from the jewelry. A trophy.
You know? Oh, he's such a creep. I bet he went out and he looked at the jeweler and he remembered how he killed the.
I just don't. What about killing old people would like excite someone? Bizarre.
So nasty.
Especially because in this case it's not sexual, doesn't seem to be, and it's very hard to understand the motive. Like, what is he getting out of it?
He likes to watch people die.
Yeah, but like not in a sexual way, just like, oh, this makes me happy. Like, what watch some TV. I don't know.
Maybe it was sexy to him.
What?
I know.
Like old women croaking, like that. What is
croaking?
Like
croaking.
Do you know? I just so cannot understand. I think that is why everyone. Yeah, I can see why everyone is so annoyed because it's such a bizarre one. You have more answers. Like, if it was sexual, it would just be like open and shut case. This guy's a weirdo. This guy's, you know, pervert or whatever. But I'm not sure it's that clear. It's not that simple. I don't know. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Slán Abhaile.
Bye-bye. Oh, wait. Where's my good advice?
Everyone has to be on their toes. That's
doctor advice.
Watch out, your doctor might kill you.
I know. An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
I thought you might say that one. Me Time and Murder would like to thank and acknowledge our sources that make this podcast possible. References can be found on our Instagram page.